My name is Bill Georgoudes. I'm a co-founder, along with my brother John, of Lanvac. We're basically the two shareholders, two owners, two builders, and the two founders. Lanvac originally started as a side business to our installation company. In the 1980s, we started with John installing alarm systems, and it came to my thought one day as an idea: what if we did some monitoring, third-party monitoring on the side? On my desk fell a magazine that was published in the 1980s that listed all the new companies that got registered in the area of Montreal. So during the long hours of monitoring our own accounts and having lots of time, I would go through the magazine, I would call up the newly registered alarm companies, and I said, hey, we have a small monitoring station in Montreal. Would you be interested in monitoring your customers with us? Eventually, we got to a point where the third-party monitoring was easier as revenue, more stable, and didn't require you going on the road and doing service calls and in the winter, parking your car in the snow, taking out the tools, being called at all hours of the night to go service an alarm system. So that was in the 80s, and then in the 90s with John, we decided that we prefer the wholesale monitoring over the retail business of installing alarms. Late 90s, 98, 99, several bigger alarm companies approached us if we wanted to sell our installation department. In 1999, 2000, we sold our installing company to Protectron, I believe. And as of 2000, Lanvac was the company that we kept for our third-party monitoring. What Lanvac offers to the alarm installer, the alarm dealer, that is unique from anybody else is we concentrate just on third-party monitoring. We only have dealers as our customers. So we've tailored our software, we've tailored our billing in a way that the alarm installer, the dealer, what we call dealers are alarm installers, he can take our invoice, and based on that Excel sheet that we give him or database that we give him, he can use it to re-invoice his customers. Our software is designed around an alarm dealer being able to set up his own procedures, instructions into our software, have full access of all his accounts, being able to put systems on test, take them off test, update his accounts. If the dealer wants to have an office during the day where he treats his own alarm signals, could be just the troubles, the low priority, he could do that as well. We offer something that we try to be unique just to the alarm installer, as opposed to being an installing company that also does third-party monitoring. I definitely don't feel like I'm working. When I come to work, it's like I'm going from my living room to my kitchen to my office when I come to the office. I don't really feel like I'm working. I'm responsible. Well, when you're an owner, and everybody who's an owner, you're generally responsible for everything, but I concentrate on, one of my priorities is the software we have. We have a team of 4 people that manage our softwares for, it's never one program, it's many programs, it's a suite of programs. So I'm responsible for the programmers. The manager that we have, we call him team principal. The manager that we have that manages the manpower of the monitoring stations reports to me. I don't really manage the day-to-day scheduling of the staff, but I usually guide our team principal for the general service quality and how I want the stations, I'd like the stations to be manned. My 2 kids report to me for the accounting. Nicholas and Tiana run the accounting department, and I get the summary of invoicing, collections, and what we did. The marketing department is run by Stefano and my nephew Stefano, my brother's son, and he reports to me on with a global picture of what we do for the sales. I'm kind of a control freak, I'm gonna say. I like to know everything that's going on, but I don't like to control everything in that sense. But a control freak in the sense that I would like to know what everybody's doing and where we're going with everything. But I like to give everybody liberty to get a job done, or give them just enough rope to hang themselves, one of the two, depending what they decide. One of the things that's unique about our software is that it evolves based on what the dealers ask us. Because our programmers are all in-house and they're available daily to us, dealer will call up and say, you know what, the software does this, but I need to manage my accounts and do something else. We're able to add options inside the software that'll make the dealer's job easier when he's dealing with an end user. Most monitoring software in the world, and there's not a lot of them, are designed around the concept that you're an installing company that monitors alarm systems. And there is certain details inside that could be modified for third-party monitoring, whereas us, it's just designed around the dealer. We have a big system of APIs, so that if the dealer was running a management software and he wanted to use the management software to send us information, it could just be the premise address, the name, the phone numbers, the call list, the zones. He could API us whatever he needs to modify. So even that has been designed around the dealer. There's smaller manufacturers that make modules for GSM or IP that also could use these APIs and do use those APIs for updating information in our station. So a technician can activate a GSM module, enter the basic information of the customer, send it to the station through the software that he's using to manage the GSM module. Doesn't have to double enter it into our software, if he chooses not to, of course. We have an app designed around the dealer. So what I call is the guy with the boots. There's a software that's designed. There's software that's designed for someone to be used by someone who's behind a desk. Then there's software that's designed to be used by someone who's wearing the boots. So the technician who's got the tool belt and everything with him to go to a job site, the app is designed around him. So he'll quickly put the system on test. He can read the results on the spot. Doesn't need to call the station if he doesn't want to, and he can do everything from A to Z. So he's outside the house, he finds the customer, puts it on test with his app, goes into the customer, does a service call, reads the results, makes sure the troubles have restored, takes the system off the test and leaves. If he's at the customer and the customer tells him, hey, by the way, I changed my cell number, the tech can easily go in, tap on the phone number, update the call list, and leave. So he doesn't have to go back, fill in paperwork for the paperwork to go to the office, get emailed to us for us to do it. That's the biggest advantage of our software, the fact that everything is there, there's tools in place for the dealer to do his job. The Lanvac team, and what do I expect from the Lanvac team? Unfortunately, I usually expect perfection. I believe that if you shoot, I expect everybody that has a task or responsibility to shoot for 100%. You're not going to get 100%. Everybody is human. Human factor is always in there. So you're going to get a 90%. But if you shoot for 90%, you're going to get 80%. I guess the biggest challenge would be that I am a perfectionist and I'm a control freak. So ideally, I'd like everybody to do their best all the time. The Lanvac team, I'm lucky because I have a good group of people that really care about what they do and they care to do a good job. I like employees to stay long-term, especially when it comes to the management positions. I believe that somebody needs to be cultured and cultivated into the job. Honestly, alarm monitoring is a very unique business. It's not like running a restaurant. It's not like a retail store. It's something that is very unique. The team you build is unique in itself because you can't just go out and hire someone who knows how to manage operators in a station. You can't find someone that knows how to manage software in a monitoring station. It's something very unique. Anybody can write an app for Home Depot. Nobody has ever written an app for a monitoring station. So the minute you get a programmer in place, first you have to cultivate him to understand what your needs are. He doesn't know automatically. I see our core team, probably 10 people that have been with us for a really long time and are dedicated and really enjoy what they're doing. If you don't enjoy, you're going to eventually leave. Just the nature of my environment, of what I expect. If you can't work under trying to achieve perfection, you're not going to stay here. You're eventually going to give up and get frustrated and leave. When I was in my 30s, one day my father came in and he saw all these employees. And one of the things he tried to explain to me is that, all these employees, on the Thursday, they're going to get a paycheck. They're going to take their paycheck, they're going to go to the bank, they're going to cash it. And they need that paycheck in order to pay their rent, their supermarket, their kids' school, send their kids to the park or whatever they're going to do. In the beginning, when you're younger and your parent tells you something like this, I said, okay, yeah, the old man is giving me advice again. But as you become the old man, you realize that all these people that work for us, I don't know, I'm gonna say about 150 people, every Thursday, they wait for that automatic deposit to settle their obligations. To me, one of the things that buys loyalty is respecting the people that work for you. It's very important to me when somebody works 40 hours and 15 minutes, that we pay him for those 15 minutes. If somebody works a little bit extra or does a little bit extra, to me it's very important that we reimburse him for his time. As humans, the most important thing we have is our time. You know, where the day that we die, everybody thinks about it, you know, like how long am I gonna live? Well, all that comes down to your time. Your time is the most important thing. Employees give us their time. To me, paying them for the time that they gave us is very, very important. I always try my best to make sure that every hour, every minute an employee works is reimbursed for it. That's one of the major things, the top thing that buys loyalty. Then respect to the employee. Everybody's gonna have something, everybody has lives outside of here, outside of their workspace. You have to accommodate their personal life so they can accommodate you for their work life. This is what I want from the Lanvac team. You'll never be a Lanvac family. It doesn't really exist. It's a nice term that marketing people work, you know, you're a big corporation, we're all one family. We're not. Everybody has their own family. We have to respect them with their family so they can respect us back in return. An alarm dealer who's looking for a monitoring station, what does he want? Believe it or not, what I've realized is the most important thing to the dealer who is looking for a monitoring station is loyalty for his customers. For us not to steal his customers, for us not to do installations and steal those customers from him. For us to say that the most important asset we have is our dealers' customers. Because we don't install our own alarm systems, because we don't have our own retail company, our biggest asset is not our customers. Our biggest asset is the dealer's customers. Then comes the quality of service. Anything you buy, any service you offer has a price point. What we have to make sure at Lanvac is the price point we charge is the service the dealer expects for that price. I think we've managed to do a really good job at saying this is what we charge and this is the service we offer. I think we have a good package. In return, we'll never steal the customer and we'll always respect the customer because that's our biggest asset to the dealer. One of the things that's unique about reaching Lanvac, a dealer says, okay, I want to find out if I want to connect my customers to Lanvac. One of the things that we're proud of is that you go to lanvac.com and you see our phone numbers there. You see Bill's phone number, you see John's phone number, you see the marketing phone number that goes to my nephew Stefano, you see the accounting phone number that goes to my son and daughter that answer the phone. To the dealer that wants to hook up with Lanvac, you're gonna go to the lanvac.com website, and any person you call from that website is the person cashing your check to earn a living. You're not gonna reach someone who's on a salary at a big corporation. Today he's at distributor A, tomorrow he's at distributor B, the next year he's at distributor C. You're gonna reach one of the family members that between now and Friday needs your revenue in order to survive.